The last chapter was kind of a disappointment for a lot of fans, but hey, with this chapter, with chapter 162 of One Punch Man, we finally get the fight between Garou and Saitama. So it was not just a one-trip pony where the fight was ended within one punch as usually. No, we still will get a fight and I'm happy about it. This chapter of One Punch Man is called The Greatest Hero. It is the greatest evil, which is supposedly Garou versus Saitama. So, it is funny because Garou is not really the pure and the biggest evil, but whatever, the chapter is called like that. We start off the chapter with our remaining heroes and they are wondering what happened to the two big monsters that appeared. The one ocean monster and the centipede monster. And the little kid Tareo is telling them, hey, you know what guys? My uncle defeated them. And Moomin Rider is confused and he's like, wait a second, is your uncle maybe the one, a middle-aged guy with a tank top? And he's like, nah, no, it's not him. And he has a big question mark in his face. And while they have this conversation, we can hear an earthquake. But it is not an earthquake at all, it is Saitama and Garou fighting. With fighting, I mean Saitama dodging kicks and punches from Garou. And if you look closely, you can even see the two of them, they are pretty high in the air. And what really was impressive to me, Saitama threw a punch at Garou and he managed to dodge that. So props to you, Garou. But then he tried to kick Saitama and the funny thing is, he does hit him, but his kick is actually so strong he damages the entire mainland below. It even damages the surrounding seas, the ocean itself. So yeah, they are reaching planetary level fighting with this and it is ridiculous. Funny is how Garou is still on his fist of might and how he has the perfected attack and his fist and so on, but Garou, still, you are doing a karate chop. Even Saitama, the chapter before that, was like, hey, you did this karate chop thing and that way you managed to defeat the centipede. Yes. But Garou is still saying, no, I am doing my fist. And he hits Saitama full on his head. His head is not going to shatter, but what happens? Garou's head breaks. It shatters into a million pieces. We get a classic Saitama moment with his comedy aspect. He's like, hey, why the hell are you picking a fight with me right now? But you know what, well, I still wanted to talk with you about something. And while he's saying that, we can see Garou's hand again recreating itself. He's regenerating. He throws a punch at Saitama and Saitama is offended and he's like, listen to me when I talk to you, and he just punches him away. He's like, shut the hell up, boy. The punch of Saitama is again so strong. Garou flew all the way to the remaining heroes and Tareo, and it's funny because he is thinking to himself, this guy, he is way too strong. What the hell do I do against him? Well, Tareo goes to Garou because he recognizes him immediately, but the other heroes are concerned. They're like, hey, wait a second, what are you doing? Did you just say uncle? Yes, he just said uncle. And Garou, that monster, well, that wannabe monster human, he thinks himself as a monster, is there. And the problem with Garou is he's obsessed with becoming the pure and biggest evil, but now he has an obstacle, and that is Saitama, and he's in front of him, and Saitama is in his way, and he's shocked about it. He's like, well, the biggest and most ridiculous one out of all of them, out of all of the heroes, and the strongest one, had to come in my way, right? Well, guess what? You want to be the strongest evil, you have to surpass him, and that is impossible. The show is called One Punch Man, kid. Garou is going through a kind of a transformation. He's kind of mutating and the heroes are witnessing it, and Tareo is also witnessing it, and he's also kind of shocked about it. But funny is how Garou is stating to himself, well, it looks like my fury, my rage, somehow I managed to mutate because of that. So we are taking the formula of anger and wrath and fury makes you stronger, but in Garou's case, he became a true monster. He mutated even more. The heroes are trying to escape, but Tareo, the little boy, is reaching to Garou. He's going to him and he's like, hey uncle, it's you. And Garou, of course, as a transformed, mutated monster, even more monster version now, is still recognizing him. The good thing is that he is still himself. He just looks a bit more freaky on the outside, and he's like, hey kid, you still live, that's great. But Tareo still thinks that Garou is a hero. And Garou on the last pages of this chapter is just trying to convince the boy, hey little shit brat, you have to accept that I'm a monster. But Tareo's also saying, no, you are not. You are a hero. But the little boy is not accepting Garou's statements. He's like, no, you're not a monster. You saved me now 4 times. You saved the other guys. You destroyed the monsters. You are a hero. You are not a monster. And I think at the end of the day, Tareo will be the reason why Garou will come to his senses and will stop this entire BS with becoming pure evil. So he will be maybe an anti-hero type thing. We will have the first anti-hero in this whole thing. I can't see Garou becoming the pure evil monster at the end of the day. Saitama is coming back into the game and he's like, hey your name is Garou, right? That poor old man. He's talking about Silver Fang, about Bang. And he's like, hey, you hunt down heroes, right? Wreck a bunch of dojos. And now you're pretending to be a monster and making kids cry? Not a cool move. And the Tareo, the little boy, is there and he's standing and he's looking like, hey, is that a hero? Yes, that is a hero, kid. A true hero. The strongest after all. The show is called after him. And Saitama is asking Garou, hey yo, did it bother you when I said you're not looking like a monster? I think your cosplay is kinda bad, dude. Saitama is just telling him that he has a bad cosplay and that he should grow up and stop being such a big ass man-child. And Garou's standing there and he's just looking at the boy and he's like, man, this is not a cosplay. Well, and Garou is trying to convince himself that he is still pure evil and he is telling Tareo, he's like, hey yo, you watch me closely now because I'm about to wreck that hero and then you will see that only true evil can protect Earth and can rule. So true evil it is. The boy is just concerned that if he kills or destroys Saitama, well, if he could, then it would get his image in a bad direction and it would be like, hey, all the other heroes would think you're a bad guy, you're a true evil one. Well, that is his goal because he's stupid. Garou is plain stupid at this point of view. But then we get a pretty badass interaction. Saitama is approaching Garou and he's like, hey yo, you wanna hit me? Come on, go ahead. And he's so close at Garou and he's mocking him and you can see his face and he's like, come on, you chicken. And we get this panel of Garou and he's pissed and he's like, don't make me laugh, you shit. He gives Saitama a kick and he realizes that that kick of his did zero. It did literally nothing to Saitama. And Garou and the kid are shocked and they're shitting themselves. Saitama is just telling the kid, hey, don't worry, I won't get hurt. I'm Saitama, I'm the One Punch Man. Or Cape Baldy, or call it whatever you want. Then it looked like Saitama slapped Garou, but he did not. He actually created a shockwave to push him back on another side of the land so they can fight freely there. And then he's just telling Tareo, hey kid, don't worry, I will not kill him. You don't want me to kill him, right? You don't want me to kill him, I just need to stop him. And he's licking, he's like, yeah, please don't kill him, so gotcha, no worries. And that was basically the chapter. I think it was a funny chapter and I'm glad that we get a continuation of the fight because the previous chapter was kinda shocking and embarrassing for Garou. After all that, what he's witnessed and what he's done, it was like, oh no dude, with one punch it's over. No, actually not. So, great thing, we get a continuation of the fight and I hope Garou finds to his senses and reverts back. So he can be a player from the good side and he can be this anti-hero / wannabe monster thing figure in this entire story. And now it's your turn. Write down in the comments what you thought of the chapter. I think it was pretty cool that the fight continues and we gotta see what happens next time. So leave a like, leave a sub. I gotta catch you guys later. Bye bye.